Good day, everyone. Welcome back. This is the BTC daily price prediction. We're going to go over here, crypto flight edition, of course. And we're going to go over, revisit the chart. We have the same line on the chart here. We're going to break it down to the 12 hours so you can verify. I haven't moved the line or anything. We're still within this range here. So yeah, we're going to do some short-term price prediction just to see where we are in this range here and how long are we going to be within this range, and just kind of go over a few things to see where we are in the chart. So if that piques your interest, stick around to the end. So let's just dive into the charts here, shall we? All right, so today's October 23rd, 2020. The current price of BTC is going to be $12,921, down about 0.13% for the day. Okay. All right, so let's just revisit this rectangular box area. For those of you who don't remember, the lower range of that rectangular box here is going to be 12,800, and top of that range is going to be $13,200. Okay, so as far as I can see here on the 12-hour, let's see here. So just to kind of recap on what we talked about on the previous video, I pointed out this candle as a potential bearish candle and how the sellers are going to use this range, this opportunity, to attempt to move the price to the downside. Now, this doesn't mean that the sellers will have enough selling interest or enough momentum to actually push the price down, but here where it's going to, well, it has taken a pause over the past just over 24 hours. They're still trying to figure out the direction here in the markets. I mean, obviously the trend is up. I mean, there's no denying that. But again, as far as the candlesticks volume and the actual candlesticks comparison, I can outline this area as a potential, even if it's not a bearish consolidation range, it to me is definitely a range where the price action needs to pause and find a level of support. And in this case, the price has found support on this purple line here on the 12-hour, which is at about $12,719. Okay. So we definitely have to wait and see. But one thing that I can see on the chart here from a 12-hour is it looks like BTC wants to move higher. Honestly, guys, it looks like this thing wants to move higher. Even if there's like a retest on this purple line, that's fine. But as far as the candle's volume in comparison with the candlestick on the selling interest, it appears that they're going to try to move the price back to 13,000, even potentially as high as $13,200. Now, will that result in a spike, or would it actually follow through with a candle's body? That I cannot determine at this point. But what I can see on the chart from a 12 hours perspective is that the BTC price is trying to move higher, 13,000, even up to 13,200. That's what I can see here. Let me go up just a little bit. Just go on the daily just to see what else we have here. Okay, so now that's one thing. It's a little bit concerning for me how far away the price is away from this moving average. However, the actual volume that came into the market, let's see, 10.4. Okay, so this is a very interesting setup because the 12-hour has found support on the moving average. Yes, the purple line. So now the daily is still trying to catch up. The moving average is down at about $12,400. And honestly, this setup here, let me just kind of invert the chart. Maybe I can see it a little better. Yeah. It could go to 12,600. But what I'm going to say is, even if the price spikes, yeah, this is kind of difficult, guys. The 12-hour is saying it wants to move higher. But again, if it results in a spike, then eventually on the daily, it has to find some sort of lower level of support, below the price here. And that level will potentially be at the moving average, the 7-day moving average. So I'm going to need probably another 12 hours to see what's going to happen here. It's going to get volatile in this area, guys. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a wick at the top of this line, potentially a rejection, and then, come down to the bottom of this line, break through. it's still kind of in the air right now. But one thing that I can see from a 12-hour is they want to push they want to retest the top of this line. Okay, BTC wants to retest 13,200, possibly even wick higher. Okay, so that's what I'm going to be expecting on the 12-hour as far as the data that I can see. Let's check out the 3-day. Okay, so this candle literally just opened on the 24th. Well, it just opened. It's not the 24th yet, but just open here. And I just want to get rid of this box really quickly. Okay, so this is the 3-day setup. It's moved quite a long way from this moving average down here. Moving average for the 3-day is all the way down at 11,800. That doesn't mean it's going to go down 11,800. Does it have the potential to? Yeah, sure. We just have to wait. I personally would have to wait and see what happens over the next 3 days on this candle that just opened here. So I don't have enough data to support what's going to happen. Although we did get volume on the 3-day. That's interesting. That I didn't know. Okay. What does that mean to me? That means that, let's see here. Was it more volume? That wasn't enough volume. No, that wasn't enough volume. And the way that I determine that is, well, if this wasn't enough volume as far as I can see, right, this candlestick, I'm referring to this as the October the 21st candle here on a 3-day. The low of 11,900 and a high of $13,250. Damn it, it's so hard to explain this to for people to understand. Like, I understand it, but I don't really know how to explain it that well. So let me just put a line on the chart here. Okay, that line. Whenever I see an impulse leg to the downside like this, and then you see the price just kind of go down and up, go down. All this is, this range here, or this price action right here, the only thing this is doing is the market is being bought up, rebought, I guess you could say that, from this sell-off. Okay? So with that information, since this price activity is a result of this candle being bought up, I would like to see an amount of buying interest step back into the market that would exceed the amount of sell orders that came in on this candle. Hopefully that makes sense. And from what I can see here, that there hasn't been enough selling interest in the market in order to replace this. Did I say that right? There hasn't been enough buying interest to step into the market to replace this sell order here on this 3-day candle on September the 3rd. Because if I hover my mouse over it, it says 76.1 million K volume. Okay. And on this one, it says 63.1 K volume. Okay. So if it were to be something like, like a 90.5 K volume on this candle, then I would say, okay, that was a sufficient amount of buying interest in the market to compensate for this sell-off. Okay. So when I see something like this coming in the market and there's not enough, what needs to happen next is the next candle needs to come in with the sufficient amount of volume exceeding this candle's volume, which is 76.1. Let's just say hypothetically on the next candle, the 24th 3-day candle up to, let's see, the 26th, right? We get a really nice buying interest candle, step in the market, boom. And there's 100.1 K volume to step in the market. That I would consider to be a sufficient amount of buying interest to replenish the market from this sell-off. Okay, hopefully, I think I explained that a little bit better than I usually explain stuff. I just confuse myself sometimes. But yeah, so far, this doesn't look like enough volume. This is my opinion, guys. And when I see something like this, it wouldn't surprise me to see some sort of price action that would suggest that we need to get a back test of this previous level of resistance, which is currently at about 11,500. If that were to happen, that's perfectly fine. The next move I would have to see is another candle up, but I want to see a sufficient amount of volume to replenish this dump off. Okay, we need more than 76.1K volume to step into the market. Trading. Whoa, not trading. We don't say trading. Of buying interest, a candle into the market here. Okay. So hopefully that wasn't too confusing, but all right. So that's a 3-day. Let's see what we got on the weekly here. Okay, so we got some volume on the weekly. Still not enough though. I don't like that. So this weekly is going to close in like 2 days. We still have time to close out this weekly candle. According to this data here in front of me, we can move this line. There has not been a weekly candle's body to close above 11,991, 12,000. Will this weekly candle close above that level? Well, we still got 48 hours, so it's too early for me to tell you. I'm not sure. But what I will say is if they would get a weekly candle body to close above that line, that would be an interesting setup for the price to move higher for sure. But it's going to be pretty far away from this moving average. So that's we always have to take that moving average into consideration, because it's always a healthy case scenario when the price consolidates sideways, maybe even build a bullish, falling wedge or something like that. So it's always healthy to see the price consolidate, in a bullish pattern or a sideways pattern before the next move. Because if it gets too parabolic, it's not really sustainable, in my book at least. Okay. So that's what I'm seeing on the weekly. And I guess at this point, I have to give you my, what I think is going to happen next. Well, I'll say this. Again, the 12-hour is suggesting a move to at least 13,000. I know it's not a huge call, but it looks like the buying interest is trying to move the price to 13,000 up to 13,200. And that could happen over the next 11 hours. Okay, less than 24 hours, that should happen. Whether it's a retest and a rejection or a retest and a breach above 13,000 or 13,200. But honestly, I think it's pretty far away from the daily. I don't think BTC should move higher at this point. I really think that we need to just kind of cool off and find a nice little soft landing pad somewhere where the price can just kind of consolidate, build up that necessary momentum to continue the trend to the upside, a healthy trend. So Moon Boys, I'm pretty sure they'll disagree, but yeah, guys, that's fine. But that's what I'm seeing. A retest of 13,000, even as high as 13,200 here over the next 24 hours. This is definitely a bearish setup to retest 12.6, but according to the volume, even if that happens, let's see, 12,600, that will likely be an area where the buyers are probably going to step in, and they're not going to let the price get any lower than this level. They probably won't let a 12-hour candle body close below this level. It's probably going to spike below it. That's fine. But they're probably not going to let it close a candle's body below $12,715. So if we get a spike down, that's fine. But I'm still seeing 13,000 up to 13,200 retests to see how much selling interest is actually in the market at this level. So that's all I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you learned something. Leave an appropriate thumb down below the video there. Leaving a comment. Hey, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It's Napoleon Magro. I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Thanks for tuning in, guys. My loyal subscribers, new subscribers. Of course, we'll put out more content tomorrow on this BTC daily price prediction. So until then, I'll catch you guys in tomorrow. Don't forget to click that video that just came on the screen there. Make sure I made an accurate prediction. And of course, you know what to do if I was wrong. Just roast me in the comment section. I'm out of here, guys. Have a good day, and I'll talk to you soon.